All right, guys, so let's get started with our kick and our clap. So right over here, you guys can see that these are all the samples and MIDI files that you guys will get. So we'll start out with our kick here. And what we could do is we'll insert a simpler. You can find this in your instruments. And then we're just going to create a MIDI clip. So by highlighting these 8 bars here, we're going to press Shift Command M. You could also do it by highlighting whatever space you want and then right clicking and then hitting insert empty MIDI clips here. But I like using the shortcuts. Okay, so we need a kick on every quarter note. So I can adjust the grid size here by pressing Command 1 or Command 2, or if you want to just right click, you can pick from whichever size you want. You can tell what size it is by down here in the corner. There's a little 1/4 that means we're in quarter note sections. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to highlight the first one, and then I'm just going to press Command D, Command D, Command D, like that. Boom, 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 boom. Now we have our kick, and we'll process it a little bit later, but that'll be our kick for now. Okay, and then we have our clap. So what we could do here is I could just option drag this MIDI clip down here to our, this says snare, but we should call that clap because this is a clap. And right now it'll sound like this, which is not what we want, right? We want it to be on every other beat. So what I can do here, now you could just delete it by just pressing delete. But what I like to do is I like to press 0 to have it deactivated. And that way I can just Command D all the way across. It sounded pretty good. Okay, so then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab one of our open hi-hats here. That one will work. And we'll insert a new simpler down here. And I'm just creating a MIDI track here. So just Shift Command T, that'll give us a MIDI track. Then where's that open hat? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to turn the volume up on this guy a little bit, and I'm going to create a new MIDI clip. But I'm going to have these open hats hit in between each beat. So it'll be just like this, and then I'll highlight the whole section. It's important to highlight this whole section here. You want this whole blue bar to be shown to make sure you copy all that space. And then you just press Command D all the way across. That sounds pretty good, but I want this to be a little bit tighter. It sounds a little bit too splashy right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this in like this, and then I'm going to switch this to one-shot mode, and then I'm going to hit the fade just like this. We could probably turn it up a little bit more too. And that sounded pretty good. And it's going to be sort of a combination of these, maybe mostly just with that high pass that I was telling you guys about earlier. And we're gonna get the kick to be beefed up a little bit more too in a later section. But we also need to drop in some closed hi-hats. So I got this guy here, and I'm going to bring in our closed hi-hats. I'm gonna go with 4. Yeah. And these will be on 16th notes here. Okay, so right now it sounds a little robotic, right? And I think we could probably pitch these up too a little bit. Right now the beat sounds a little bit robotic, and there's not really a whole lot of swing to this beat. So what we can do here is we can add a groove to these MIDI notes to make them bounce a little bit. So I have something right down here which is called the Groove Pool. If you guys aren't familiar with what this is, you can go into your PAX core library grooves, and you can pick any one of these grooves. Like let's pick one of these grooves down here from the Logic folder. I like this one. Let's try that one. Go down here to our swing Logic 16ths. In contrast, this is what it sounded like before. Let's just play it with the kick so you guys can hear it a little bit better. Here's with no groove. And then this is with the groove. It's a really subtle thing, but it really makes a difference. We can also try New York Cut. I like this one too. You know, let's stick with that one. I like that one better. And there are a couple of other, like some snare rolls and some snare accents, but we'll touch on those a little bit later. This is essentially what our drum pattern is going to be for this entire track. So let's start building some of the other elements.